Most men are born to mother's milk. His first taste was of his mother's blood.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where you watch terrible movies so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
It's such an epic beginning there. So this episode where last week we did trailer trash for Conan the Barbarian, the 2011 flick. So this week we'll be kicking off our breakdown of it.
Don't call it that.
Yeah. It's the 2011. It was like a reboot, remake, revisit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. One of those things. What do you want to call it?
Unnecessary.
Yeah, right. It's just like
no one's asking for this. Like who wanted? Oh, you know what we should remake?
Yeah, we should remake Conan the Barbarian and just make it a little bit different though. It's pretty much like I think the story and everything is all like original story and to a certain extent, but all new characters outside of our hero Conan. And I think even the logline is basically the same from the original movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, a vengeful barbarian warrior sets off to get his revenge on the evil warlord who attacked his village and murdered his father when he was a boy. Yeah. It's almost exactly the same.
Yeah. It's a remake, reboot, revisit, whatever.
Yeah. Well, they in like interviews and stuff, they're like very explicit to say it's not a remake. Like, no, guys, this is a original retelling.
Retelling. Oh, okay. Original retelling.
Sure.
Gotcha. Like
we don't have Arnie, but we got another muscly guy, so fair enough.
Yeah. Instead of saying parents were murdered, it's just his father. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Ugh.
So let's talk about our expectations from the trailer, and then now that we've seen this, this thing,
I think this is
where to begin.
Yeah, this is one of the worst movies we've covered. I think it's in the running.
It actually is. It actually, I think, is in the running. It's not good.
Like I would watch Swiped again twice in a row. I would watch Last Days of American Crime again. I would watch so many other movies again before I watch this one.
Oh my God, that is yeah. I mean, it's yeah. That sounds about right.
It's just horrible. Like my expectations of being like, in a best case, John Carter from Mars. Was it John Carter of Mars or whatever the title is?
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I could have looked it up. Doesn't matter. My hopes were like there, and it far underperformed.
Yeah, if that was the bar, this did not make it. This did not cross.
Not a joy to watch.
No, and you watch the trailer is just like, when we went through it, like I remember we were talking about it, it was like the trailer just felt like it was just crazy hectic with like all these cool action moments, right? And those crazy action moments were extremely boring.
Yeah, like poorly executed, and they were as disjointed as they were in the trailer. Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of all adds up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start getting into this a bit then. So, quick info. It's directed by Marcus Nispel.
Who I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's just done a ton of music videos. He's a music video director, and then he's done like 3 or 4 features. This being one of them. I think this is one of his first features. But I mean, he did music videos for everyone under the sun.
How many Limp Bizkit music videos has he done?
0. So
okay.
Yeah. So he hasn't really done all of them.
Yeah. Not interested.
Not none of the important ones.
Yeah. Like get on Fred Durst's level here.
Yeah.
He directed a movie and Limp Bizkit videos.
Yeah. Hello. So, and then the screenwriters, there's 3 gentlemen who put this together. Thomas Dean Donnelly, Joshua Oppenheimer, and Sean Hood Oppenheimer. Is that in a museum somewhere?
Well, it's kind of a Manhattan Project
like
situation.
Wait a second. Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, he's a nuclear bomb guy.
So I think Thomas and Joshua here, Oppenheimer and Dean Donnelly, they are like writing, I think, duo, because they've written pretty much the 5 or 6 credits they have, they've worked on together. So it seems like they're a writing duo. And then Sean Hood is another guy who's written a couple of movies, not many. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah. It's just funny. Like, it took 3 of you to put this together. actors. Now, there are a lot of like decent actors in this movie. Not a lot of, but I mean, like our cast is Jason Momoa as Conan.
Don't get ahead of yourself here. There's a lot of great actors in this movie.
Well, yeah, not a lot. Well, I mean, they're all names, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Fuck you all if you want to be on the podcast. You know the drill.
Yeah. Jason Momoa, he plays Conan. We get Stephen Lang, who I really like. He's awesome, and he plays the big bad villain. Rose McGowan plays bad villain's daughter. Rachel Nichols, who hasn't been in a ton of things, nope. And then Ron Perlman plays Conan's dad when he's in the younger version. And then we get like a cameo guest appearance, which we'll talk about when we get there. Just the voice. So I mean, not a bad cast. Like,
no. And I mean, Rose McGowan is like. I was trying to because I don't know. She's very active in the world, and so I see her name a lot all over the place. Right? Mm-hmm. It's like she's in the news all the time or whatever for doing something.
Apologies,
but yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, lots of stuff. Regardless, but I'm like, I always think of Charmed. I'm always like, Charmed, and then Grindhouse. Exactly what the two things.
That's pretty much it. So.
Like big high school presence for me, middle school and high school, right? Because Charmed came out, I think, when I was in like 6th grade or something like that.
Sounds about right. It was a while ago.
7th grade, yeah.
Production budget and box office stuff. So budget was about 90 million. I think it's our second highest movie.
Yeah, pretty good.
First, or actually, it's probably our highest right now. I think
one of them, yeah. I'm trying. I didn't even think of what else was higher. I always think the John Travolta ones are higher because it's John Travolta, but they're not.
They're not.
Like Speed Kills was like 20 million or something, right? And I think that was pretty high for us. But
yeah, and again, that's when you're like, where did they spend all that money? $70 million later, you get this thing, and you're like, where did they spend all that money?
Scientology donations, probably.
So a $90 million budget. And the box office worldwide, it brought in 63 million.
It's not profitable, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, and I think like on the domestic, good old US of A here, it only brought in like 15 of that, I think, or 20 of it.
That makes sense.
It's a third of it, but still, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
Huh.
Yeah, exactly.
They definitely spent all the money on CGI, right? Like I don't think they didn't spend the money on like working on the script.
No. I have a feeling director and screenwriters probably came pretty cheap, and then yeah.
Like Jason Momoa wouldn't have been that expensive yet.
No.
Rose McGowan and Stephen Lang are like the star power here, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean Ron Perlman, but maybe.
Well,
yeah. Okay, that's fair.
He's like, what is he? Like he's like does like the extra guy in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he was also in Hellboy, by the way, which was a pretty big movie.
Oh right, I forgot. That's what I was like. Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
So that's quick info. I don't think there's much else there to cover.
Nope.
Do you want to go into Hollywood pitch?
Sure.
What do you got?
So for me, this is a no-brainer. Dungeons and Dragons, the movie. Did you ever see that one?
Probably. I was like actually thinking, I was like, wait, was that a movie? I think it was.
Yeah, in 2000 with
I think they're
Jimmy Olsen from Lois and Clark there.
Oh my god.
It had a bunch of good people in it. It had Justin Whalen, that's his name. Kind of Marlon Wayans is kind of a racist character, Snails, remember? Jeremy Irons was in that one.
Oh my god. I know they're redoing this as a movie too again, but whatever.
Yeah. Not good.
No, forgotten part of the Forgotten Sands.
Yeah, and so it's like, as far as not good fantasy movies go, this reminded me a lot of that.
That's fair.
Kind of similar plots too, where it's like kind of meandering. There's like saving a woman and like whatever. Like it's like all the tropes and none of the making sense.
Yeah, which comes with like a lot of fantasies.
Right, which meets Game of Thrones, which is a no-brainer because again, Jason Momoa, right? This comes out the same year. I think Conan the Barbarian I think Khal Drogo is actually modeled off of Conan. The more I thought about it afterwards, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
like he's a nomadic like warlord kind of guy who rides horses all the time and like slaughters people. Man, a few words.
Yeah, actually, he spoke a lot in this movie.
That's true. Too much,
right? He's like, aren't you supposed to be a barbarian? Like, what?
Yeah. Go back and look at how many lines Arnie had.
Like 2.
Yeah,
and one of the most famous and most important lines. But yeah. So
not quite Mad Max level of quiet, but
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I got. What do you got for your pitch?
That's pretty good. So I went with another 1982 classic. I think it was 82. It's The Beastmaster. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
I have, but not in forever.
Yeah, me neither. It's been a long time. I remember watching it as a kid and being like, this is awesome. He talks to animals and cool, fantasy,
Yeah, it's fun.
Swords and stuff. So I went with, it's The Beastmaster meets The Mask.
Mm-hmm.
The Jim Carrey The Mask.
Yeah, explain that one to me.
I will. So the log line just tells you about Conan and like, yeah, revenge, cool. I killed family, I'm gonna come after you, right?
Right.
The overall plot, the villain plot of this movie.
Well, depends on which way you look at it. From Stephen Lang's point of view, he's the hero.
True. The antagonist, he is the antagonist to our protagonist. So the antagonist's plot, right?
Yeah.
MacGuffin and all, is that he is collecting pieces of this mask that is supposed to give him all this power so he can rule the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
How is that not the same?
Is not the mask.
What do you mean?
He's not trying to rule the world.
He's not, but the bad guys are trying to.
Your bad guys, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
right.
They're trying to take the mask so he has all the power. It's
right.
Pretty much the same plot.
You're right. Yep, and then okay, I can see it now.
So, there's that.
Oh wait, I forgot to mention in mine. Other reason it's the Game of Thrones is because the guy gets his face melted with molten metal.
Oh yeah,
just like Game of Thrones. This movie's the same as Game of Thrones.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones meets The Mask. How's that? We'll compromise.
That's actually a good mix. I think it's a good mix of our it's this meets that.
Perfect.
Pair them together. All right, so I think fast facts.
Yeah,
you crushed the fast facts here. So do you want to kick it off or?
Thanks. Yeah. Give my credit to the investigative journalism of going on the IMDb trivia page as always.
And Wikipedia.
Yeah. And Wikipedia, reading an interview or two. So yeah, we got a lot of fast facts on this one.
Yeah.
For starters, this is a little bit of history we talked about earlier, kind of.
If people aren't familiar with Conan the Barbarian as a character, and he's been around for a very long time, so.
Mm-hmm. Since the early 30s, 1932, character created from Robert E. Howard, a series of fantasy stories that were published in Weird Tales, which is like an oldie time magazine.
Yep. Yeah. And there's I think he did a bunch of like short stories, Conan Barbarian stories in like various publications outside of that, like fantasy, sci-fi stuff too. So.
Yep. Like a Swamp Thing.
Old character. So.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Pretty fun. So the next one, and fast dear listener, never say we didn't give you what we promised. We said the facts would be fast.
You're welcome. That was fast.
The only fast thing about this podcast.
And it's not even the entire section. The entire section can be very lengthy. It's actually just the individual fact is fast. Correct.
Okay. And some of those are kind of lengthy too. The next one's quick though. So, this one really threw me for a loop because apparently Jason Momoa is afraid of horses, and he's, I guess, publicly talked about this. Which, like, thinking about his character in Game of Thrones, like the Dothraki also almost exclusively ride horses.
Stop taking these roles, Jason.
Yeah. And so, Aquaman never rode a horse.
Seahorse.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I guess they had to like fake all of those scenes or film it with a double or like CGI him in afterwards.
Oh my God, that's so much because like there's so much of him riding a horse.
Yeah, I know.
Why even be in the movie?
Right?
Oh my God. I'm just picturing like his agent bringing him the script and be like, so Conan the Barbarian reboot, revisit, remake, whatever you want to call it. What do you think? Do I have to ride a horse? Yes. Do you know who this character is? That's all he does is ride horses and swing a sword. You know I'm terrified of horses. Yes.
Maybe he's doing some kind of like exposure thing, and that's why he took the Game of Thrones role around the same time.
Maybe he's trying to fight his fear of horses.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Good for you, Jason Momoa.
Yeah, get out there.
Yeah.
Well, he's not fighting his fear because he's not actually riding them. So.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck you, Jason Momoa. You wimp. Grow up.
Grow up. People have been riding horses forever, dude.
Horses are nice. Maybe delicious? I don't know. Fans in Canada can let us know. You can buy horse meat in Canada.
Can you?
Is this why people email us about meat?
That's probably why. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one.
All right. So Jason Momoa and Rachel Nichols apparently got offered the role of Drax the Destroyer and Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy and turned them down, which huge missed opportunity.
Whoops.
What a better franchise to attach yourself to than this one.
That's a good one.
Right?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Momoa is Drax the Destroyer. I can't picture him though, because I think Dave Bautista is just so perfect. Like you can't picture anyone else playing that.
Jason Momoa is not funny.
No, I don't think he is, but I think he could be if he's got it. I think he's
no.
Okay.
I don't know. He's charming, but he's definitely not funny. I don't like even when you think about like the
think about all the movies
lines that Aquaman does.
I never watched that movie for it's Aquaman. Come on.
Yeah. Come on. No, they because it's like any other superhero movie now where they're trying to make it a little bit funny because it's not Batman.
Right.
And like he's not funny.
But that's not his fault though. That's just the writing.
Yeah, I mean, did you see him on SNL when he was?
Maybe I did.
Not funny. Like I'm just saying he's not funny. Like Dave Bautista, at least, like I don't know, he made me chuckle. He's awkward, but he's
I
don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a good one. That's a good one though. But yeah, that's a whoops. That's a missed opportunity there, huh?
And I think there's a ton of there are. I'm going to read another one in a second. That's like similar to this, like the casting for this, because it was in development hell for so long. They ran through like 5 directors and like 3 or 4 casts before they landed on what they were actually trying to do. They're trying to make a Conan movie for years, apparently.
That sounds about right. I mean, it sounds like yeah. Okay. All right.
We almost got a Wachowski Conan movie. Yep.
That would have been like. That might have been pretty cool.
Right? Like that could have been good. Like we almost got a Robert Rodriguez Conan. That would have been
I think that would have been a perfect matchup. Robert Rodriguez doing Conan the Barbarian, I think that would have been
Yeah.
That would have been
We almost got a Brett Ratner. We almost got like no, it would have been bad, but
yeah.
Maybe better than this though.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of recasting people, so apparently to play the role of Conan's father, Corin, I did not know he had a name until I read the fast facts.
I didn't either. Whatever.
So apparently Mickey Rourke turned it down first to do Immortals, and then they offered it to Dolph Lundgren, who also turned it down, I guess, or didn't pan out.
Had Kindergarten Cop 2 to do.
Oh boy. Yeah, rest in peace, Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. Smart guy. Just oof. Yeah.
And then apparently Arnold was also offered the role of Conan's father and declined.
What?
Which that would have been fun.
That would have been That would have been great.
And then we got Ron Perlman, which was fine.
Yeah, that's fine. When in doubt,
forgettable.
When in doubt, Ron Perlman. You know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, as we always say on this podcast, when in doubt, Ron Perlman. We'll start saying that.
Oh man. Okay, so we got a couple more. These are all good though. So let's do it. I feel like we're making up for fast facts we didn't have in the past.
Yeah, making up for lost fast facts time.
Say that 5 times fast.
Oof, I won't. I will not. So notably, Rachel Nichols had a body double for her sex scene with Jason Momoa. Mm-hmm. Notably, Jason Momoa did not have a body double. So nice.
Yes. So yeah.
That was fun. And then
thought that was fun.
Speaking of when in doubt, Ron Perlman apparently also played the voice of Conan in a video game from 2007.
Yeah.
And then also in an unreleased animated film, Conan Red Nails, which so sorry, Ron Perlman.
Is he being typecast in the Conan universe?
I don't know. Like, even your shitty Conan stuff doesn't come out, apparently. Like, I don't know. Like, this one should have been left unreleased also.
Yeah, should have been. Oh my God. All right. Do you want me to take the next one here? Give you a breather?
Please. Yeah.
All right. So the $90 million
budget.
Yeah, let's talk budget. So the $90 million budget was almost double that of the original Conan the Barbarian from 1982 when adjusted for inflation. But recouped less
That's
than
crazy.
Yeah, that's really crazy. But recouped less than 23% of its predecessor's inflation-adjusted take during its theatrical run.
And that's not surprising.
No, that's not surprising at all.
I mean, also, like, think about what we got from a Conan movie. Think about Conan the character. Conan as a character doesn't play well in modern times. Like, I don't think
No.
He played great in the 80s, like
right
in Ronald Reagan's America. Conan rips.
Yeah, come on, crushing it, right?
Yeah, in Obama's America, not so much.
Not so much. No, you can't. It's different. Yeah, it's not gonna work. So
different time.
It's all about timing, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think the fan base of Conan the Barbarian probably isn't. I mean, it's $63 million worth, I guess.
Surprise, surprise. Half your fans are dead.
Yeah. Come on. Be better.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you think the next one too. You like masks.
Yeah, I do. I love masks. So the Mask of, what is it? Acheron? Is that how it's pronounced?
I think Acheron,
Acheron. Yeah, we'll go with that. The Mask of Acheron, which is the big MacGuffin in the movie, right? Is named after Acheron, which in classical mythology was the river of woes and one of multiple waterways that flowed into the underworld.
That's neat.
Yeah, that's a fun and a fast one.
Like Styx, apparently.
Sure. Okay.
The band and the river.
I'll take the last one too.
Please.
So this is the second reboot featuring Rachel Nichols.
Okay.
I didn't know this. So she 2 years earlier, 2009, had a scene in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
Yep.
Okay. Like this reboot, both Conan and James T. Kirk are born
in the movie, like explicitly born in the movie.
Oh yeah. Like we actually see their birth, which is
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird
the thing. Both Conan and Kirk's fathers were killed by the main antagonist, and Nichols' characters are both romanced by the main protagonists.
Yeah, kind of fun.
It's fun. Yeah. Okay.
Kind of dumb, kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a dumb, fun, fast one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neat.
All right, so yeah, let's get into let's do this. Let's do this. All right, so it starts out. I don't know what it started for you. So we watched this on Peacock TV.
The cock, as they say.
Cock, yes, the cock, if you will. Who is the ad genius, or who is the genius that came up with we should call our streaming service Peacock?
I mean,
do you think they were
bird?
Yeah, I mean it is, but it's come on. You know, no one's gonna be like short and be like, no one's gonna be like, yeah, watch Peacock TV. No one's gonna be like, watch PTV. I don't know. It's so stupid.
Yeah, no one says I watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Watch the. It just lends itself to having a shorter name. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're right. I agree. Yeah, so we watched it on the cock, which has a bunch of ads.
Of ads.
If Russ and me, you are cheap enough to not pay for it. Yeah, we're not looking to pay for content here.
No. Well, we did with watching ads. So I don't. You got an ad right off the bat. I don't think I did.
Yes, I did, and it was for WrestleMania, which was
before
awesome.
the movie. So you got this before the movie even started.
Yeah, I clicked start the movie, and then I got a WrestleMania ad. I was like, what? I was like, wait a second, what is this? Because it like rolls in on like Hulk Hogan and like a bunch of like classic wrestlers. I was like, oh, this is dope. Like I knew I was gonna watch a thing with a bunch of muscly guys, but I didn't know it was gonna be muscly guys that I love.
That's called knowing your audience right there.
Right, but then it wasn't. Yeah. It was an ad for WrestleMania, which I won't watch.
Great. And then
watch wrestling since what, 1995 probably.
Yeah, I didn't get an ad. It just went right into the production companies. So you got Lionsgate, Millennium, and then Paradox, all legit as far as we know. And it was like, okay, this feels like a real movie. $90 million.
Which great animations, really leaning into 3D. You could tell. Like I've never seen a Lionsgate animation like that.
Yeah, that's a good call. Right. Yeah, that definitely the logos came together like for like the 3D.
Unnecessary.
Okay. And then we kind of dive right into just like it was like an animated like map, right, of the world.
Yeah, and now this is cool little. Is that what you're gonna say? Was the cool little throwback to with? So we get Morgan Freeman starts narrating, but
when his voice starts, I was like, "Is that Morgan fucking Freeman right now?"
And I said exactly the same thing. I was like, "Wait a second, what?"
Did I somehow jump over to some like nature documentary on Netflix or something? Like,
nope.
We're just
this is not March of the Penguins. This is Conan the Barbarian. And apparently the beginning line that he was talking about, between the years when the ocean ate Atlantis and something over the mountains of Ares or whatever. Sure. Apparently that's from the original Conan.
Yeah.
Eden, which is dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The only dope thing about this movie.
Yeah, pretty much, right? I think that was like the only, outside of like obviously Conan, but I think that was like the only reference to the original movie, right? Like I don't think there was any other little, maybe there was some Easter eggs.
I did not catch them.
They were hidden somewhere.
I mean, it probably doesn't help that neither of us have seen it in 20 years. Like,
yeah. Like I went back and watched like the original movie's trailer and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty, it's whatever.
I should have done that.
Yeah. No riddle of steel.
Smart.
Nothing fun like that.
No. But I'm digging the history lesson here. I liked how they were setting the world up a little bit. They were giving us a little bit like this Empire of Acheron sounds pretty scary. A lot of Mordor vibes.
Yeah, and they set up the whole plot device in our MacGuffin, the Mask of Acheron, or whatever it's called, right? And it was destroyed and broken into many pieces and hidden across the land because it's opens up unspeakable, evil, and whoever has it can take over the world, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's crafted by necromancers from the bones of kings. And you're like, oh, this sounds awesome. Dope.
Yeah, that's what you want, right? Necromancers.
Mm-hmm. Unspeakable evil, unimaginable power. Like you're speaking my language here.
Now we're talking. Now we got something cool going on. And then I don't know if there was anything else in there, but I mean, that kind of just set the world for us, right? So
yeah, this is when we get the lead into what we're, current times. We're saying the only, everyone except the barbarians apparently is a slave to Acheron. And the barbarians are the ones who are responsible for shattering the mask. And like apparently each of the tribes, like you said, it keeps a peace to make sure that it can never be reunited again. And there's the prophecy of somebody coming to reassemble the mask, because of course there's a prophecy.
Obviously, there's always a prophecy. Come on, like
even the mask had a prophecy, right?
Yep, telling you.
I guess they're the same movie.
You swap out Conan for Jim Carrey, you have the mask.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. And then so came a child born of battle.
Now, this is actually almost an extremely literal line.
Yeah, disgusting.
So
I hate this scene so much.
So it cuts into like, now we're into like the action of the movie. Narration's done, and it's just like this epic battle, right? Like, right, big time battle going on, like blood everywhere and just like swords, and like, all right, this is pretty cool. Ron Perlman's out there kicking ass, doing things, and then there's just a pregnant lady in the middle of the battlefield.
Yep, pregnant lady.
Like she should definitely
also kicking ass.
She was kicking ass, but she should probably be somewhere else. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. And then Perlman, I think he takes a hit or something, but then like I guess the battle is over, and I don't know. I guess the baby's being born right now in the battlefield.
The battle is raging.
It's still going, right?
Yeah, the battle is still raging.
I thought so. Okay.
She takes a hit. She takes a hit. Ron Perlman sees it. Yeah, and he's like, "No, my pregnant wife." Apparently,
she's in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, and then they have like a big little scene where he's like, "No, you can't. Like, you have to meet your baby." Or she's like, "I need to meet my baby before I die." And he's like, "Well, I can fix that for you." So he pulls out his knife and cuts the baby out of her right there on the battlefield.
I mean, so it's fucking ridiculous.
Pretty graphic. Like,
it is like over the top, like, ridiculous.
What in the actual fuck? Like, I'm laughing. I'm disgusted. I can't tell which is which.
It was like a C-section right in the middle of battle. I'm like, okay, this is pretty hardcore. And I definitely was actually laughing out loud at how goofy this whole thing played out. And I was like, this is what? And Conan was literally born on the battlefield. Like,
right.
Literally born on the battlefield.
Yeah. And they're did you look at their teeth? Like the teeth they gave Ron Perlman and this woman, like I think they're fixed in like the rest of the movie for all the other characters. Like everyone else has perfect teeth because they're actors,
right?
And for some reason they like made Ron Perlman and his wife's teeth like real fucked up. All right, if you're like the costume department is not paying attention.
Yeah, consistency here. Come on, like let's no one's gonna have good teeth in a fantasy world. Come on.
I don't know if you caught this. There's a little goof here. So during the C-section, we see the umbilical cord. Remember?
Yeah.
Like the first time he like pulls the baby out, and it's like, look, it's attached. It's like, and then as soon as it cuts away and cuts back again, the umbilical cord is just gone. Like just like disappears.
That's a good catch. I didn't catch that one. Yeah, because then he holds up Conan like like Simba there style, right? And just like, baby. What the fuck is going on right now?
I couldn't stop laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
We're like, I think less than 2 minutes into this movie, you just had Morgan Freeman narrating this awesome epic opening, and now we're in like battlefield pregnancy. And I'm like, what is going on? But I kind of hope the rest of the movie is just as ridiculous as this, because then it'll be good. It's not.
Like,
spoilers. It's not.
What's the game plan here? Like, how's Ron Perlman going to protect this baby in battle? Like, it's a newborn. Like, I don't.
Oh my God. Someone have a blanket, wrap that thing just covered in all sorts of dirt and blood, and just, oh my God. That's not sanitary.
Nothing makes any sense.
It's not sanitary.
It's incredible.
And then we're back
and then it's just like fast forward.
Yeah, man. Boom. We're
fast
barbarian
forward to the village. Yeah.
Hey, everyone's happy. We're cool. It's like, what was that battle for? What was going on? Mm-hmm. So we jump to a peaceful village, the village of the barbarians, and normal life, goats, shit's happening. We got a kid running around, who I'm assuming is Conan, running around as like
more specifically the Cimmerians.
Cimmerians gang here. So and you get Ron Perlman talking to the young soon-to-be warriors, Cimmerian warriors, giving them kind of like the mantra of the Cimmerian lifestyle and whatnot.
Very well spoken for a barbarian.
Extreme. Like, yeah, like it's. I wouldn't
call them a good speech.
I wouldn't call them barbarians at all. Actually,
no, I wouldn't either.
It's well thought out, well spoken. Mm-hmm. It's a mantra that makes sense. Not barbarian-esque at all.
Pretty good casting though. The kid that they cast to play young Jason Momoa actually looks like it could be a young Jason Momoa.
It definitely does. Like, he kind of spot on. It's a little creepy, actually.
Yeah. And then I had a note here though, and like, sorry, Ron Perlman. I didn't realize it was Ron Perlman, and I was like, whatever they did to this guy's face to make him look like that is like really uncanny and weird. I was like, oh wait, it's mostly Ron Perlman's face.
it's just Ron Perlman's face.
I mean, he definitely had some kind of like weird prosthetic thing going here and there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
and the teeth
he's got a very unique face as it is. It's like he's got like a big face.
Yes.
But
yeah,
it works.
But I was just like, oh yeah. Yeah, good cast. Good
pick. Nice job. So young Conan is kind of running around. He shows up late to Dad's big speech, and then at this point, Corin, who is Ron Perlman, the dad there, he tells all the young kids to go do something. Right. I didn't quite catch it. Like they have like some egg thing, and they're running around.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really And
basically,
Easter egg
hunt.
Easter egg hunt, and all these kids are like running around in the woods doing a bunch of parkour over trees and stuff. And I was like, what? What are they doing? And
tackling each other, like having a good time.
Yeah, I didn't quite get what the game was. And then a bunch of bad dudes show up. Just right. And they're kind of hunting them in the woods a little bit.
Yeah,
and then,
which was confusing. I didn't know who these people were. I was like, what is this other weird tribe doing?
Yeah.
Like, I assumed they were other barbarians.
That's what I assumed.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then all the kids run home, and Conan's like, "No, I'm gonna go after him," and he does. And
I was gonna say, this is when he runs away, but doesn't get very far because he gets tripped by those balls that trip you. And so that's what I should have looked up. You know what they're called when they you get them on the rope there, you swing them around your head, you throw them at somebody.
Yeah, Ewoks had those things.
Yeah, balls on a rope.
Bolo something, maybe a bolo, something with a B. I don't remember.
Yeah, bolo tie.
Yeah. So then he's by himself. He's surrounded by this other random, whatever, bad tribe or something. I don't know, whatever. And then he basically just fucks them all up single-handedly.
Well, explicitly, he's by himself because he's stupid.
Well, yes, and that's
he's
the
one
point,
who ran into. Yeah, he ran into this horde of bad guys.
Yeah,
like a dummy when all of his friends were like, "Conan, we got to get out of here, bud."
like an idiot. He's a little brash. He's a little, hot-headed, and just gets right into it. Where it's like, I don't know, man, take your time. Figure this out. But he's still in the shit. But he gets himself out of it. He just smokes all these like what five of these bad guys.
Yeah, well, four. Yeah, no, it does matter. So there's a goof. There's a goof that comes up in a second.
Oh, is it with the heads?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, so there is 4. Okay, so he's surrounded by 4. I know exactly where you're going with this. So he's surrounded by 4. He ends up just messing these guys up, kills all 4 of them. He returns.
The effects are terrible.
Yeah, they're not very good. He returns back to the village, and he's got all their heads in his hands.
Well, he has 3/4 of their heads.
Yes.
Because he mangles 4 guys, and he's got 3 heads to come back. Now, I think you could probably explain this away as like, one of them he did kind of bash. Maybe it wasn't a good trophy anymore.
Maybe he just got tired. Like cutting off heads is probably a lot of work, and he's like, I'm a little exhausted. So this 4th one, like,
three's enough.
They'll get the point.
I don't know.
Probably 1 was enough. I mean, probably none was enough. But hey,
Yeah, I think you could have brought back no heads and been like, "Oh, cool, you're pretty bloody, and there's nobody following you now."
Yeah, and. Yeah,
we can make use a little logic.
Yeah. So back at the
wait. Yeah. Also, remember when he brings those heads back, he spits out one of their eyeballs. I was like, wait a second, is Conan a cannibal?
No, that was the egg. It wasn't an eyeball. It was an egg. It was the egg thing that they were all carrying. All the young warriors were carrying around. I think they were supposed to like race somewhere and not break their eggs. And he had it, and he just put it in his mouth. Yeah,
I thought it was an eyeball from one of the guys that he just mangled.
No, I think each one of the kids had an egg, and they were supposed to protect it on like this race or something. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's way better if it's an eyeball. Like just the old ultraviolence.
Yeah, I'm just picturing him coming back and spinning an eyeball, and even his dad being like, "Jesus, kid."
That's what I thought happened. That made it way better for me.
Ron Perlman's like, gross. What the fuck's wrong with you? I didn't raise a barbarian. Come on.
Wait, that kid wasn't supposed to kill anyone yet. Did you actually go kill someone? Remember that child actress?
Yeah. Quit acting like such a barbarian here, kid. Jesus. So then he comes back. He's got the heads, and then we cut to kind of like a
State
training
Farm commercial, and then yeah. First State Farm, and then a montage,
and then it's a sword, blades, forging, learning how to forge a sword, and then learning some sword moves. Kind of like, hey, dad teaching the kid how to actually, fight. Although he seemed like he did just fine,
which was another scene that I was stoked about.
Yeah,
true.
Yes, and then
without a sword,
and then there's a big trick question: how do you forge a sword out of fire or ice? Right.
Well, what's the most important part when forging a blade? Fire or ice?
It was a trick question.
And
both
like, fire.
Yeah.
Ice. Yeah.
Ice. Yeah.
So lame.
Yeah. Pick C.
Infuriating.
Kid. All of the above. You dummy.
Yeah. Well, and then they smashed the sword that they just showed us a 5-minute montage about. I was like, wait, this is why this movie's so long. Like, you just showed us a breaking a sword that you made, and it didn't even matter.
So brutal.
I'm so mad. Yeah. So finishes off that scene with a real dumb, this is the mystery of steel. Like, steel's not a mystery. I don't know.
In fantasy lands, it is.
Sure, I guess.
Whatever.
So then we head outside to do a little practice battling, right? With his dad, a little sparring.
Yeah, a little sparring, learning actually how to be a warrior, you know?
Yeah. Well, not really sparring, because then his dad tries to basically drown him in frozen ice water.
Yeah. It's got very much it reminded me of the Batman Begins there, right? It's like pretty much
a little bit.
It's pretty much the same thing. They're fighting on ice, and like Ra's al Ghul beats him, and then is like, you don't always need to fight with your strength, and he breaks the ice, and it's pretty much the same lesson, same thing.
Yep. No, now that you say it, it is exactly the same. And this is where I want way less backstory now. At first I was kind of into the backstory, and now I'm like, this is a scene that we probably could have skipped doing in the podcast. The movie could have easily skipped doing. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, and it basically comes down to his dad being like, "You're not ready to be a warrior because no one ever is at the start." And then Conan's having like a little bit of a tantrum by himself in the woods. It just cuts to him by himself, like throwing. I don't know, he's having a little tantrum.
Yeah.
Usual. And then Peaceful Village, we get some horses coming in, and bad guys are coming in to the peaceful.
Yep. And this is when I said this must be when his dad dies.
Yeah.
Like way before I figured it was going to happen. I was like, this is definitely going to happen now.
Yeah, this got to kick everything off, right? This got to kick off his vengeance, right?
Mm-hmm. These are the samurai I was talking about from the trailer.
Oh yeah, now I see it. Not samurai though, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, they have similar armor.
Yeah, similar, you know. So they come in, they pretty much fuck up this village, and then we get Stephen Lane looking all mean and badass.
Yeah, lots of slow motion.
Yeah,
shots.
Lots of slow motion, epic
Too
fights,
much
stuff going on. I don't know. It was kind of hard at some point to tell who was dying and who I was rooting for. I was like, oh, I think I wanted that person to live. I don't know.
Yeah, no idea. One guy like literally pushes a horse over. Remember that? He just like pushes it. You're like, wait. What?
Yeah. Hopefully there was no horses harmed in the making of this movie, but there's so much horse violence.
There's a lot of horse violence.
Mm-hmm. And then Conan runs out of the woods and comes in. He kind of holds his own, killing some baddies here and there that he can.
Yeah, but the baddies have arrows, which seem like a wild advantage.
It does.
Like they're just firing, hundreds of arrows at the village here and murdering everyone very quickly.
Yeah, which made no sense because like there was a bunch of their guys, the cavalry was like actually in the village fighting, and then they yeah, okay, all right, I thought so.
And that's like I make this comparison later on too, but they were treating them like orcs in Lord of the Rings, where it's like these seem like people, but they were just kind of like, we'll just throw them away.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine. They're just orcs.
Yeah.
Stupid.
We can get more.
We can get plenty of them. So yeah, this is kind of building up to Dad taking a hit. He goes down, and then like the way things are kind of like stitched together here is just like all of a sudden he's in his house, I guess, and Stephen Lang's got him, and there's
trying to get Daddy to kneel.
Yeah, and there's okay, and his classic bad guy speech, right?
Talking about being God.
Yeah, kind of reinforming us that he's looking for the piece of the mask, blah, 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 right? And like, okay.
Yep.
And obviously, Ron Perlman here, he's got a piece of it.
Yep.
And then Conan comes out of like nowhere and just chops a guy's nose off.
So funny. It was another one I couldn't stop laughing. It was a cut the baby out moment.
Yeah. It's just like, what? I was like, dude, kid, you just missed the mark on that one. Or yeah. Did you?
Like, I think he wanted to cut that guy's nose clean off, and he did.
Like,
nailed it.
Like of all the things they cut off, like you couldn't have hit him in the head or hit him in the neck or just did a jab move. Like, just
nose.
Slice the nose off, right off. It didn't do much. They kind of wrestle around a bit, and then now Conan and Dad are caught.
Yeah. Then it's like, and they were already caught. Like that's like. Now Conan's also caught, but it was like nothing changed, and then it's just like later on that day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
like this movie So many wasteful scenes.
Yeah. You did completely wasteful. So now they're both caught, hanging out, dad and son, and Stephen Lang doing his whole thing. And then we get Stephen Lang's character's daughter, who is basically just a goth girl in the corner there listening to Nine Inch Nails.
Sniffing everything all the time. She loves sniffing stuff.
I can sniffing things. Get out of here. I can smell it. It's around here.
I sense the shard is close, father.
Creepy. You got a creepy fucking kid, dude. Yeah, so she finds the shard, which by the way was hidden in a floorboard in the floor.
Like it was like hidden in the obvious hiding place.
It's like it's a small place. It's like a small little, humble home there. Like, where do you think it's hiding? Like, where do you think he's hidden it? Check the floorboards, you dummy.
So stupid. Ugh. Infuriating. I was like, why did also, if she could smell it or whatever, why did it take her so long to find it in the floorboard? Like she's sniffing around all over the place for what seems like too long.
Yeah. Just get sniffing earlier. Get it done. Come on.
And then you got like the one announcer guy over there on the side being like, the child, she found the shard. No shit. Like we're all watching the same movie happen.
Oh my god! And then Stephen Lang's villainous character is like trying to decide what to do with Conan, right?
Well, he's trying to decide how to punish the father.
Right. And then it's like intense looks, and I got a commercial. I don't know what you got, but
yep. Oh, I did. You fear not death or pain. Commercial break.
Yeah. You should get Dove some soap to smell better. I was like, what the fuck? Like, terrible spot to put a commercial.
Like a good neighbor.
Nothing like a good neighbor to break the tension. So then we come back, and so now Dad's being tortured with a container of molten lava or metal,
from his forge.
From his forge, hanging over his head, and he's holding it in place with a chain. If you let's go to the chain, the thing pours in his head.
Correct.
That's a tiring act. So, and then we get a little backstory from the villain's plot, right? He wants to put the mask back together, gets all the pieces so he can bring his daughter's mom / his lady back, right?
Right.
And that's all we get. That's all we get initially. It's just like, oh, he's just trying to bring his wife back. All right.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Meh. Yeah, there are worse things. I guess I'm team bad guy so far.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, that seems completely reasonable,
They seem more interesting.
And then
we start burning the village down.
Yeah, like burn down a village. Let's get rid of this.
And he takes his mask outside. He's like, it's complete. We're halfway there. You're like, that sentence contradicts itself. Immediately.
Oh my. I feel like that's how we feel at the end of recording these episodes. It's complete. We're halfway there.
We're halfway there. Yeah. So dumb. And then he explains it's because he wants to bring his wife back or whatever. And that's the final piece. But still, like, why? Don't say it's complete then.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Cause that was weird. Cause he had that was the last part of the right. That was the last piece of the mask. I was like, okay, cool. We're done. But the mask is complete, but the actual job is halfway there.
Right. You have to find the pure blood, apparently.
Always needed pure blood. You know what I mean?
It's like this movie's becoming Harry Potter all of a sudden.
Here we go. Find a pure blood. Great. And then
come back to the inside where Conan's dad is saying that, you can't save me. Just like, let me melt my face, bro.
Yeah.
And Conan's like, Papa, no.
The whole cutting of this was really strange too, because it was like they're in the house and they get the shard, and all of a sudden they're not in the house, and then we cut back and the house is like totally burned down. I was like, what is the pacing? What just fucking happened here?
Yeah, nothing.
So
everything.
Conan's holding the chain, and dad, father, son. No, son, just carry on.
Yep. He's like, I'm ready to die. And then
he dies.
Then he pours bucket of molten metal all over his face. Yeah. Classic Dothraki style.
Yeah, just burns his head right off.
Yep. Like, too bad Jason Momoa is not there. He loves doing that.
The whole sequence is a little goofy. I was like, man, this is weird. It could have been really cool, but it wasn't. So I don't know. And then Conan he's all that's left, and he pulls a sword out. And the power of Grayskull.
Yeah, why is he holding the sword like that other than promo art?
Yeah,
This is stupid.
This is so dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. We went from okay.
Cut to Jason Momoa, right? We're in the present now.
Well, before that though, we get a quick Morgan Freeman is back. We get another quick,
oh yeah, I ignored it every time he showed up after this.
But that was it though. I think that was the last time he shows up, which is
this
weird.
is the last one.
Yeah, it's like, well, if he's telling this is so annoying because like they start this thing off with him and then he's like telling the story basically to us, right?
Right.
And then he fills in basically the time from when Jason Momoa, young Conan, to now Conan, right? Like that's the only purpose he serves is just to kind of give us exposition about like, this is what has happened over that time, blah, blah, blah.
The world building. Yep.
And then that's it. He never comes back again, which is just,
we don't know who he is. Like he's not a character.
No, no. Like the original Conan, I think the guy who reading it was a character in the movie. I'm pretty sure who was like telling the story because he took down and told his stories of Conan and like for all the future generations to hear. Yeah. This is not the case.
Nope. And listener, please feel free to fact check us on that because I don't remember, but I think it was his buddy.
Yeah. He was just like a random character. He was part of the story and he was there, but he was the one who was like writing, I think, this down because at the end of Conan, the original one, he was just like, and that's a tale for another time or whatever. And like, we don't get that, which is like,
no,
what a waste.
And that's where I was thinking, maybe it was the artist character, like Nanzo Anozi. Maybe they're trying to get him to, maybe like you're trying to lead you to think that he turns into Morgan Freeman someday.
I mean, he gets old enough and all of a sudden he becomes Morgan Freeman.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
like that,
whatever.
Because like he definitely had like that kind of like vibe of like palling around with Conan and being like, oh, we go way back to like when he was a boy, and like
he's telling his stories. Yeah,
right. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe.
I don't know, but they don't allude to that in any bit. I don't think so.
Nope, not at all. And Artist is in the movie for like 2 minutes. So
yeah, kind of a waste. So there goes that. So then we come back to the present. Now we got Jason Momoa Conan. So, and basically just him and his buddy,
artist.
Yeah, just gonna go free some slaves because that's what they do.
Yeah, classic Conan.
Yeah, that's
barbarian around.
So in the original movie, he like they play up the whole thing about him being enslaved and being a slave for a very long time and then breaking out of that and training
in the original movie. Yeah,
in the original movie. In this, they don't do that at all. Does he even talk about that in that little voiceover? I don't even remember.
No, it seems like he's just a pirate.
Yeah, pretty much, right? It's like the Robin Hood, but for he's just freeing slaves, and it's like okay.
It's like the way less work version of explaining.
Yeah.
Like literally the movie could have started right now. We're 28 minutes in. The movie could have started right now, and I don't think we would have missed anything.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Because they re-explain like the villain's plot, like in his thing, like 4 more times. So
right, make it an hour and a half. Start it now.
Boom, done. We don't need. It doesn't need to be 2 hours.
Yep, chop it up. So
come on.
So people getting mangled by boulders is pretty funny. This is when Conan starts to go push boulders down onto the slaves.
Yeah, so
that's one way to free slaves, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, this is so weird because like it's like a caravan, right, of like carts and stuff like this, and they've got the masters and the slaves all mixed in together. And then like Conan and his buddy there and their gang of, I guess, friends. I don't know. He's got a whole crew of people.
Riffraff.
Yeah, riffraff. Just start pushing these boulders down the side of this mountain and just destroying everything. I'm like, there is definitely some collateral damage going on.
Oh, you know what? Collateral damage. Maybe this is an Arnie nod.
Oh, that's
maybe. We were just talking about how there were no references in this movie, but maybe there are way more than we think.
It's such a stretch, but I'll take it. So then, they save the slaves, free them, right?
Or most of them. The ones that don't get crushed by boulders.
Right. The ones who aren't fast enough to dodge a boulder, Fucking little boulder dash, oh boy, here we go.
And then this is when Bane rolls in, right? like we free the slaves and they're like, oh, okay, let's go back to the slave party that we were having.
And this is, so they save them, they save the slaves, and then there's definitely a moment of saving all of the women, everyone's topless pretty much in this movie.
Yeah, which for no reason.
I mean, all the extras are, like all the other like smaller, lower level characters are, but then all the main characters are not, other than Jason Momoa. Pretty much, right? Makes sense.
Yeah. So, and the naked women are like, where would you have us go? Well, to Byzantia. Okay.
It's like the it's equivalent to the opening of American Crimes, Last Days of American Crimes, and there's just naked woman dancing on car. I guess this is what happens.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Oh, classic slaves, I guess.
Everyone's got to be naked. So then they go back to some tavern or whatever, and it's party time.
Which
right?
they were just slaves a second ago. How are we like spring breaking right now?
It's totally spring break.
I don't get it. Like we're like, oh, don't worry, Conan just saved us. We're going to Miami with Jason Momoa. It's gonna be sick.
Let's do it. We're on a boat, which they were for a little while.
Right.
So yeah, they're in some tavern, and Jason Momoa and his buddy are arm wrestling, and we have to call it out, but there is a gratuitous amount of boobs just everywhere.
Yeah, too much.
I mean,
unnecessary. Like justify the rating, I guess, at this point, because there's not enough else in this movie to make it rated R.
Yeah, there really isn't. Because the violence is definitely very PG-13. I guess there's some moments where it gets a little gruesome, but it's not really all that bad.
But it's not realistic gruesome though. Like it's like the CGI is terrible.
yeah. It's definitely very it's not realistic in any bit. So
whatever they spend $90 million, it wasn't that.
No, so they're arm wrestling, having buddy stuff. His buddy gives a speech about something. I didn't even really hear anything about it. I don't know. Did you?
Well, telling Conan stories about like, oh, it was he who stole the elephant's heart and slew the sorcerer. You're like, I want to watch a movie about that. That sounds way better than this one.
Yeah, this one's not good. This story sucks. Tell a different story, dude.
Yeah, artist, come on, man.
So then we get like some sketchy activity going on. We get a guy with a eye patch rolls in. He's being kind of sketchy, right? Rolling for the bar. And then this is when we get the Bane lookalike rolls in.
Right.
Poor man's Bane.
Poor man's Bane. And in between, did you catch that line that Conan, when he's right after the arm wrestling, he goes, "Hey mama, I need more mead." I was like, what the fuck movie is this? Like what a stupid throwaway line. Like really took me out of like the universe for a second there. I was like, what is?
It was really hard to like, because like the way they presented him as being like, this freer of slaves, right? Which is okay. Yeah. But then they also have the other side of him being a barbarian and being like, I just want mead and women, right? And it's like, right. It didn't fit to like the way they did it. Just didn't work. No,
and I don't know. In my mind, Conan is like a stoic character and is not like a, hey mama, I need more. And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm projecting onto Conan what I wish Conan was.
I think you are. I think he's a bit more just simple. Yeah. Revenge, naked women and mead.
Yeah. Makes sense.
He's a barbarian.
Anyway.
What are you going to do? So then we get Bane lookalike rolls in. Poor man's Bane. He's got like the whole thing on. And then this is when we realize, oh, this is the guy when he was a kid whose nose he chopped off.
We keep saying poor man's Bane. It's because he has like a face mask thing. We haven't talked about it at all. For the listeners, like, so sorry.
Yeah, he's got some leather, contraption on his face, basically to cover up the fact that his nose has been sliced off by a kid.
Which I did not realize it was that guy yet. It took me a while. It took me a while to realize it was that guy.
Right off the bat, I was like, "Oh, this got to be the guy with the nose got cut. His nose got chopped off." Yeah. But he shows up and he's walking around, and I think they're just like, "Hey, why are all these slaves free or something?" I don't even know why they're there.
Basically, yeah. They were looking for the pirate. They were looking for the guy with the eye patch.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so they're looking for his buddy, who this is apparently now Conan's new buddy, and
BFFs. Yeah.
And Conan offers to help him. And he's like, well, we're going to go to prison. And Conan goes, maybe I want to go to prison. And I was like, wait, they have prison in this universe? Like, what the fuck? Like, it seems like they're just kind of executing people at will. So like, why are they bothering with?
Yeah. Prison seems like there's like some bit of law and order.
I'm
some bit of law and order.
So confused again. Like, what are the rules? Spell out the rules for me. What's a crime?
Right. Because you're a slave doesn't mean, I guess you're in prison. Whatever. It doesn't make any sense.
And then we're off to labor camp, right?
Yeah, labor camp. We do the old I want to get caught move. So Conan is in this labor camp rock prison here.
Yep.
He's in some cell, I guess, with a bunch of other, prisoners, slaves, and scumbag little low level, guy who's just eating food and being scummy.
It seems like he's kind of the king of the labor camp already.
100%.
Right?
He's just sitting there chilling like, yeah, this is no big deal.
Yeah.
It's like
labor much.
Yeah. He's clearly eating 3 square meals a day.
Right. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
No
it's
doubt.
in his rider. And that's what he asks, like, where's the captain? And you're like, wait, they have ranks? Yeah. Like they're going to prison and there are ranks now and like military rank. I don't understand what's happening.
I don't either. Like this part of the world doesn't make any, like, so is this a world that are these guys like they run Bartertown here? Are they in charge of what's going?
I guess.
I don't know. This means that means that there's a whole system of, social class and things going on.
Sure. And also, are these people cannibals too? Because they start like eating people. Like,
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I think it's just,
I guess.
Just kind of comes to the territory,
Yeah. Conan's eating eyeballs. These guys are, all the slaves are eating people in labor camps and stuff.
So weird. So then Conan just beats everyone up.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like,
no, you're right.
He just beats everyone up. So
it's like 5 minutes of it, but
yeah, it's 5 minutes for like 3 guys. I'm like, what is this taking so long for? So he beats up everyone up, and then he grabs the captain, or not the captain, but the guy who's whatever in charge of this cell or something. Which is, I don't know why he's just sitting. It doesn't make any sense. He basically just like, hey, where's the captain? Where can I find him? Get some information out of him. Takes those guys out. I did enjoy the next scene though. So the next scene, it cuts to
the first part.
It cuts to our Bane, our no nose guy there, right?
Yep.
And he's like torturing eye patch guy, right?
Yep.
And he's in this room, and there's one other guard in there, and there's like a knock at the door, and the guard goes over and he like slides open the thing, right? So you can see the face, so you can let the person in. He slides the thing open, and he sees the low level guy who was in the prison earlier, like his face.
Classic. Yep.
I thought this was pretty good. So the guy opens the door, and it's Conan just sitting there holding his head. I was like, yeah, all right, that's pretty awesome.
It was pretty good. I liked that part.
That was good. And then he fucks that guy up, and then he just kind of takes over the room and then grabs no nose guy.
No nose.
No nose, Mr. No Nose. And he grabs him, and he's like, now he's looking for Stephen Lang, the big baddie, right?
Yeah. This is when I realized it was that guy.
Yeah. Definitely. There's definitely a goof here. So he locks him in like this torture thing, like hold like it's basically a vice grip onto like a table, and he's got his arms, held down. Right. And the no nose guy, he's got like this leather like thing over his face, right? Covers his nose and kind of straps around, right? There's definitely a goof here. So Conan's trying to get information like, hey, where is whatever? I forget the bad guy's main name. Whatever, doesn't matter. And there's a shot.
Zim. Invader Zim.
Thank you. Zim. Okay. So he's looking for Zim, and he pulls off the mask, right? And he sticks his finger in.
Yeah.
He like basically picks
it was
his
so
nose.
Gross.
So gross. I was like, this is brutal. He sticks his finger. He picks the guy's nose, basically. Deep pick. He does a deep pick.
Well, I think he's like reaching to his brain a little bit there.
I mean, at that point, yeah. I mean, he's going straight through, and he just gets in there, and oh man, I was like, okay, this is a little brutal, but this is okay. We're here we are.
Yep. And then I know what you're gonna say.
And then so it cuts back to Conan, and he stands up, and it cuts back to the face of the guy, and his leather mask thing is on.
Yes, I said exactly the same thing. I was like, wait, how did he get that back?
It's like, what did he put it back on him? Like, why would you do that? It's such a nice torture thing to do.
Yep. I thought I said exactly the same thing.
I also don't know like how you. So I don't know if it was my TV or if it was the cock streaming here, but it was overall like the audio super quiet for you?
No, it wasn't too bad. I think I had it adjusted appropriately.
I had my TV cranked, and I was like, I couldn't hear what they were saying at all. It was driving me nuts. And the commercials would come on, it'd be so fucking loud. It was so annoying. So I had no idea. I had no idea what they were saying here, but I was like, I can piece this together. He's just torturing him. He's asking where Zim is. Tell me where he's.
He's telling the backstory again.
Yeah. I was like, more backstory, like the whole thing. I was like, I think they're just re-explaining the plot again here. So.
Yeah, we're saying the daddy killer is a shadow lord, apparently, whatever that means.
Great. Who cares? No
just
one cares.
Making up words. Yeah, nothing matters.
And then
wait, also sorry, we can't gloss over this part. While that little telling him where the guy is scene is happening, the stupid pirate guy, eye patch guy there, is chiming in all the time. Remember? It was super annoying. Okay. Well, he's chiming in and like saying the most, like the dumbest obvious things, or where No Nose is saying like they're in whatever ravine up by that pass, and the eye patch guy goes, "Oh yeah, that's the perfect place for an ambush." Like, no one asked you, guy. Like, who invited him?
Yeah. What are you doing here? Shut up.
Yeah, so stupid.
So then this was pretty, at first I was like, what, this is stupid, but then it paid off pretty well. I thought this was pretty good. So
I didn't hate it. Yeah,
I didn't hate it. I thought it was pretty good. So Conan's like, all right, I'm done with you. He's like, since you give me this information, I'll spare your life, right?
Well, he didn't say I'll spare your life. He said, I won't kill you.
That's right. That's key, right? So he's like, I won't kill you. So he puts the key. He puts the chains for all the slaves are the key in his mouth.
Apparently, there's one key for all of the everything.
That's all it is. That's hive mind. You just unlock one thing and they're all free.
Yeah. And give him a MacGuffin key.
He drops the key in his mouth and like pours whatever down, kneads him down his throat, makes him drink the key, and then he drags him out to the main like labor camp area, right?
Yep.
Just throws in the middle, and the guy's like, I thought you were going to spare my life. He's like, I didn't say I was going to spare it. I said, I won't kill you. And he basically gives a knife to one of the prisoners, is like, hey, the key to your freedom is in his stomach. I was like, all right, that's fucking ruthless.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Like, all right, that's good. That's good. They had like these moments, but then it was like, whatever.
And it was a good opportunity for them to justify their rating again, and they didn't show it. Like at that point, I'm not a huge gore hound, but like when you're setting up something like that and with a guy that really deserves it, you can get away with a little
bit more,
Yeah. And they just kind of panned away.
I mean, you pretty much showed cutting out a baby in the first 2 minutes. You can show someone cutting out a key.
Right.
A different
but also
C-section.
So messy. Like think about finding that tiny key.
Oh my God. Right.
He was a big dude.
He was a big dude. That's a lot of work to dig through. Oof.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, and then the eye patch guy, he's still talking, and it was kind of irritating. I was like, why are you still talking? Please stop talking.
Whose name is Ela Sean.
Oh.
Who I kept saying Elon Musk at some point later on, but at the beginning I remembered his name was Ela Sean.
I mean, he does talk an awful lot like Elon Musk. Just like stop talking.
Right?
Stop tweeting.
Yeah. And with kind of a nondescript accent.
Yeah.
like I know Elon Musk from South Africa. I don't know where you're from.
That's awesome. So then we cut to the monastery.
Right.
Some cult.
I figured it was a cult.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, a lot of young women dressed up the same, listening to some old guy talk. Cult.
Yeah. This guy fucks. Yeah.
So we got some old dude smoking
drugs. Yeah.
Smoking awesome. From a hookah, talking to a bunch of young women. I'm like, okay, this is a cult, definitely. Pretty much, but it was all the stuff from the trailer. Like there's everything that was in the scene, I think was in the trailer.
Right.
And
then he like spouts off nonsense lines like, I see a man crossing sands. Yeah, no shit, you're in a desert. Like,
yeah, that's sounds like a lyric from a Doors song or something. Like, yeah, great, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not the same high you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not on your level. I'm like, let me get there.
Yeah, you're on a different plane, my friend. So he's basically spouting all the same stuff we heard in the trailer. There's Destiny, and we have our fair lady there, our maiden, our primary lady, who is clearly
Mara.
Important character.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is when so we get that set up. So okay, we understand that, and then it cuts to
this is the scene with the elephants.
This is the scene. So this is the scene with the elephants and the land boat.
Right, in the land boat and the samurai. Yeah, it's all coming together.
It all comes together now. So now we cut to Stephen Lang, Zim there, and him and his crew with a bunch of slaves who are pulling this giant land boat. Yep. Which I think it is a boat, right?
Right? I don't know.
Because it comes into play shortly, but that's it.
Yeah. Oh, for like 2 seconds. It's not important at all.
It's not important.
It literally doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They use it for one thing, and then that's it. And it's like,
well, they use it again. They use it again later. Remember that when the land boat gets gets crashed through by Catapult Boy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But that's so I guess it's setting up that.
I guess. I don't know. So either way, so the slaves are pulling Landboat, which why are they pulling Landboat?
I don't
know. Why? What is going on here?
Get the elephant to do it.
Yeah, right? And then there's elephants, and then there's samurai. Not really samurai, but they look like samurai.
Right.
And that's it. So they're marching somewhere. I don't think do we know where they're marching? I don't really know.
Nope.
But then we get this is pretty much
presumably the temple we were just at.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I would assume.
Yeah, that's the assumption. They're going to the monastery that we were just checking out. So, but this is pretty much them showing Zim and his daughter, Goth Girl, all grown up, who is Rose McGowan.
Right.
Still listening to Nine Inch Nails. Mm-hmm. And then we cut to Conan on a bow, motherfucker.
Yep. And
I don't know.
This part makes no sense too, because at this point you would think like Conan seems like he kind of knows what he's up against by now.
Yeah.
Right. Almost right.
Yeah.
You would think that he would want to bring his crew of pirates with him.
Right. You have a fucking team. You have a team.
Like, and he's telling artists about his plan. He's like, I gotta go avenge my father and kill that guy. And he's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go with you. And he's like,
yeah, man, we're buds. I'll help you. No.
Conan just says, nah,
bro. I gotta do this one alone. Why?
Yeah. And poor Nanzo Inozi's like, oh, great. Now my character is getting written out even extra.
Great. I guess I just sit on this boat. Like, like so annoying. I was like,
infuriating.
Jared, if I ever have to avenge anything, I'm going to be like, hey, man, you mind coming with me? I could probably use some help, like holding doors open or something, or maybe like, I don't know, something, you know, like.
Definitely, yeah. Pushing boulders onto slaves, whatever you need, man.
Whatever, you know? I wouldn't just be like, no, man, I got to go do this by myself. I'm like, no, get it done. Move on to the next story.
Right. Ask for help. There's no shame in asking for help.
There definitely isn't. And then Conan's on a horse, and then that's it.
His greatest fear.
He's on a horse. So this feels like a pretty good spot, I think, to kind of pause. I think, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done enough damage here. So, yeah. I mean, thanks for listening. So this is gonna be the end of part 1. We're gonna get to part 2 soon.
Thursday.
So we'll be back on Thursday. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That and RITMT Pod on Twitter.
Yeah. Speaking of helping us out with stuff, and you could also send us an email at itsthismeetsthat@gmail.com. Yeah. We're accepting meat submissions. If you want to write us about meat, that's cool.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. We love talking steaks.
Yeah. Don't Conan on us and just leave us on the boat. Like, come on, help us out here.
Right.
Get us involved.
Yeah. So, or just go to our website. It's thismeetsthat.com because all the episodes are there too.